Mystery creates wonder, and wonder is the basis of man's desire to understand. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, please hit like and subscribe for more stories. The Forgotten Mystery of the Sodder Children. On Christmas Eve, December 24, 1945, a fire destroyed the Sodder home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, United States. At the time, it was occupied by George Sodder, his wife Jenny, and 9 of their 10 children. During the fire, George, Jenny, and 4 of the 9 children escaped. The bodies of the other 5 children have never been found. The Sodders believed for the rest of their lives that the 5 missing children survived. The Sodders never rebuilt the house, instead converting the site into a memorial garden to their lost children. In the 1950s, as they came to doubt that the children had perished, they put up a billboard at the site along State Route 16 with pictures of the 5, offering a reward for information that would bring closure to the case. But the Sodders had begun to wonder if their children were still alive. Jenny couldn't understand how 5 children could perish in a fire and leave no bones, no flesh, nothing. She conducted a private experiment, burning animal bones. Chicken bones, beef joints, pork chop bones to see if the fire consumed them. Each time she was left with a heap of charred bones. She knew that remnants of various household appliances had been found in the burned-out basement, still identifiable. Employee at a crematorium informed her that bones remain after bodies are burned for 2 hours at 2000 degrees. Their house was destroyed in 45 minutes. The collection of odd moments grew. Then came the reports of sightings. A woman claimed to have seen the missing children peering from a passing car while the fire was in progress. A woman operating a tourist stop between Fayetteville and Charleston, some 50 miles west, said she saw the children the morning after the fire. "I served them breakfast," she told police. The children were accompanied by 2 women and 2 men, all of Italian extraction, she said in a statement. "I tried to talk to the children in a friendly manner, but the men appeared hostile and refused to allow me to talk to these children. One of the men looked at me in a hostile manner, he turned around and began talking rapidly in Italian. Immediately, the whole party stopped talking to me. I sensed that I was being frozen out, and so I said nothing more. They left early the next morning. Over the next few years the tips and leads continued to come. The Smithsonian report told the Sodders their search was hopeless and declared the case closed. George and Jenny erected the billboard along Route 16 and passed out flyers offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of their children. They soon increased the amount to $10,000. In 1968, more than 20 years after the fire, Jenny went to get the mail and found an envelope addressed only to her. It was postmarked in Kentucky but had no return address. Inside was a photo of a man in his mid-20s. On its flip side, a cryptic handwritten note read, "Louis Sodder. I love brother Frankie." She and George couldn't deny the resemblance to their Louis, who was 9 at the time of the fire. Beyond the obvious similarities. Dark curly hair, dark brown eyes. They had the same straight, strong nose, the same upward tilt of the left eyebrow. Once again they hired a private detective and sent him to Kentucky. They never heard from him again. The Sodders feared that if they published the letter or the name of the town on the postmark they might harm their son. Instead, they amended the billboard to include the updated image of Louis and hung an enlarged version over the fireplace. "Time is running out for us," George said in an interview. "But we only want to know. If they did die in the fire, we want to be convinced. Otherwise, we want to know what happened to them." He died a year later, in 1968, still hoping for a break in the case. Jenny continued to do so until her own death in 1989. Her children and grandchildren continued the investigation and came up with theories of their own. The children were kidnapped by someone they knew. Someone who burst into the unlocked front door, told them about the fire, and offered to take them someplace safe. They might not have survived the night. If they had, they lived for decades. If it really was Louis in that photograph, They failed to contact their parents only because they wanted to protect them. The youngest and last surviving Sodder child, Sylvia, is now 69, and doesn't believe her siblings perished in the fire. She will never forget the sight of her father bleeding or the terrible symphony of everyone's screams. If you like that story, please hit thumbs up and subscribe for more.